The Nats won again last night, right?
Yeah,
dude.
I'm so mad that I didn't play that.
Attitude.
I am so mad.
Attitude.
Another lefty they saw too, and I don't even know what I was doing.
So maybe Prop Beaver's notes about the Nats not being able to hit lefties were complete
it has nothing
bullshit.
to do with that. It's the fact that they've seen five out of their last 6 pitchers have been lefties. So there's
It's not what I had said in my notes either. It's that they were supposed to be better against lefties. They just had started the season really cold against lefties. So one had assumed, oh, okay, maybe it's like one of those things where in the middle of the season they get in a cold stretch. Maybe that's happening now. So that's what I'd thought for the Nats bats.
Oh, you think that's happening now?
Yeah, but you're a pig. You assume, and you
we're live, dude. Stop rambling.
Whoa.
So we got 6 games to go through here. What we're gonna do is go through the 6-day games, and then I'm gonna bring on the Tour Junkies golf expert to talk to us about the Masters, which starts tomorrow. And I'm personally interested because I love betting golf. I bet it every single year. I never turn a profit. So I'm just looking to pick his brain to go about what's the most strategic way to bet golf this year and see who he likes for the Masters if he has anything for us. Good morning, everybody. Oh, by the way, coming off a great day. Prop Beaver had a really good day, too, by the way. 4-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice work. So I swept the MLB board. I went 4-0, and I had a winning NBA night, which those are seldom these days. So it was nice to green in both sports. Back-to-back sweeps in the MLB. So I'm got a hot hand in baseball right now. Hopefully that continues. Let's see if Commish is here.
I got my ass smoked yesterday.
Like a warm brisket.
I just wanted to show everybody since everybody was sharing.
All right, let me open up. I can't remember. What bets did you lose? I don't remember being on opposite sides of you in anything.
A lot of them.
All right. Oh, well, I know you have Phillies first 5. All right, so anyway, let's get started. We got
Not one team that I picked in the first 5 scored a fucking run. Not one.
Not going to win many bets like that.
Fuck,
it's a swing or miss league.
I'd take a push. If I could get one.
Well, that's the advantage of that first 5 money line is you have an opportunity.
I was playing the money line like a fucking cuck and not getting the money and still losing.
It's all right. 2 days ago, bro. I think my teams, the teams that I bet overs on or like bet on to win the game started the day like 1 for 21 with runners in scoring position, and the one team that I bet against was like 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Baseball, sometimes.
All right, let's get started here. Dodgers on the road in Minnesota. Prop Beaver, you got Bobby Thriller on the mound. He let us down last time. Actually, he let me and Toast down. I don't think you were on the Dodgers with us in that one.
No, I was on Bobby Thriller that day. He let me down.
He let us all down then. Are you looking for a Bobby Thriller and a bounce back?
Actually, I have a weird feeling that Bobby Thriller doesn't do well again here today. Just looking at the prop lines, his outs line is at 15.5 juiced under. That is pretty weird considering he.
What do you mean 15.5? That's 5 innings. That's a solid start. Are you saying that's low?
6 innings. He went 6 innings.
He's a guy that you'd expect at 17.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty goddamn low right there, and I don't think that's just an overreaction. I feel like that's the book saying something. So I'm not touching his side here. I am playing the Dodgers first 5 team total over 2.5 though. Sorry, Chris Paddock. You seem like a nice guy. I like your stuff, but it's your second start back from Tommy John surgery. Now you got to face this lineup. That sounds like hell. He didn't really look good in his 2024 debut against the Brewers, against the far inferior lineup. He only made it 4 innings. He allowed 8 base runners, 2 runs, a homer, and he's yet to go 5 innings in a start, including spring training, and he really struggled there as well. Now he's got to face a lineup that just simply isn't fair against righties. They sit second in WRC+, third in ISO, second in OPS. The last 8 starting righties to face the Dodgers have combined for an 8.02 ERA, a 1.84 WHIP, and 1.6 home run per 9. 6 of those 8 pitchers allowed them over the total in the first 5 innings. Paddock's earned run line is at 2.5, juiced heavily to the over, and I would be shocked if he pitched past 5 innings today. Even if he pitched well, nevertheless, if he got hit up. So we're saving 50 cents in value, and our runs don't even have to be earned. While it's a little less relevant because of the shifts in the Dodgers lineups through the year, Paddock has always struggled against the Dodgers. Through 7 starts against LA, he's 1-4 with a 7.03 ERA, 2.3 home runs allowed per 9, and has allowed the Dodgers over in 6 of those 7 starts. This is the most fearsome Dodgers lineup he's going to face yet, and he's probably in his most vulnerable spot yet. Again, second game off of that Tommy John surgery in terms of his starting pitcher. He made some relief appearances last year. So this is less of a fade of Paddock's talent and just more of a backing of the Dodgers bats against righties. Does it hurt a bit that Will Smith is not in the lineup today? Absolutely. But I got it at plus money. I still like the value there. So going to ride with the Dodgers.
Dude, Austin Barnes has been swinging it too.
And yes, Commish, actually, I was going to say that. Austin Barnes last year was essentially a free out, but this year he's actually doing pretty well. So if he could get just a hit, that would be a plus for us too.
All right, so Commish, I don't see how you. I'm going to be on Dodgers -1.5. You got the Twins already stole a game from this series. You got
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. Oh, they stole a first 5 in this series. All right, so scratch that. But still, you got Bobby Miller coming off a bad start against a Twins lineup that's 29th in WRC plus against righties. It goes Marlins, Twins, White Sox. Those are the worst 3 lineups against righties so far this season. Such a perfect bounce back spot for him. Paddock, we just heard Prop Beaver said he expects the Dodgers lineup to get to Paddock. The Dodgers bullpen was pretty taxed yesterday. They should have all their main arms tonight. Tell me why I shouldn't go Dodgers -1.5 here.
I can't tell you why not. The market is a little weird on this game, but I will say I waited up till 4 a.m. 2 days ago to make sure I got Tyler Glasnow over 7.5 strikeouts, and then the market moved against me all day, and then he had 14 strikeouts, so I stressed all day about that 7.5 line because of the market, and it ended up being no sweat. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, someone asked me if they should ladder it, and I was like, based on the baseball that I'm looking at, like based on everything I'm looking at, the advanced analysts, all that, yes, ladder it as far as you want to ladder it. But the way they're pricing this game made me a little bit nervous. And then, of course, I mean, it wasn't even close. Glasnow dealt. Bobby Miller, I will say his velo and his spin was down at Wrigley last week when he pitched, but that's really the only thing I could see to talk you off of the Dodgers in this spot. I still hate myself that I can't just be that guy who's like, Dodgers -1.5, set it, forget it, move on. It's a West Coast team playing a little bit earlier than they probably would like to, but I mean, they're by far the better team here.
So it would be Dodgers -1.5 for a pass for you?
Yeah, I would not play Bobby Miller's over strikeouts just because the home plate umpire that they have today is super hitter friendly. So you're probably not going to – the Twins have been taking a lot of called strikes, and you're not going to get as many borderline strikes in this game. That was my main look here, and then the umpire didn't agree with what I was trying to do, so I haven't bet anything yet.
Okay. Hitter-friendly ump, you say, with Chris Paddock against the Dodgers lineup.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That should help Prop Beaver's team total.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Money,
for sure.
right?
It's not helping the Twins. You got to be able to make contact to benefit from that. So
Toast, Dodgers -1.5?
Twins money line plus 152. Like I got it last night.
Come on, dude. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Pretty sure you said the same thing about the Rockies and the Twins. I had a bad day.
I didn't
last
hate
day
the Rockies
yesterday.
pick. I didn't hate the Rockies pick.
I had a bad day yesterday. I'm not going to be gunshine today. I actually think this is a sneaky spot for the Twins. I understand that they haven't looked good the last 3 or 4 games, but those bats are going to wake up sooner or later. I'm not trying to make a case that they're going to just explode on Bobby Miller. But Bobby Miller was shaky at best in his first start. He only made it an inning and a third. And Chris Paddock was average at best, but I think the more starts he's going to get under him after having that surgery is going to be a positive. Not to mention the fact if Chris Paddock gives me 4 or 5 innings of solid baseball, I have a whole rested Twins bullpen behind me to go for that. Obviously, the Dodgers have all that same thing. I get it. I understand no one's going to tell me for this. I don't really care. All I can tell you guys is the Dodgers have a day off yesterday. They played the Padres the day after that. It's a travel day. No Will Smith in there. That changes things. That makes things even better. I have no problem playing on the Twins here. 0.
I hate this pick. I hate this bet. There's just everything you said. He goes, if Paddock could give us 4 or 5 good innings, what the hell indicates that we can get 4 or 5 good innings for Paddock? Like, no way.
Paddock is a talented pitcher, but I mean,
you just gave a rant about how he's going to get shelled.
Yes, you can be talented and still get shelled. I mean, I bet against Kirby yesterday. He's talented. He got shelled again, second time in a row. Just saying.
All right, so our
Should
polls.
be free money.
I
can't get Kirby right. I'll get Paddock wrong. Bet your Dodgers -1.5 for free.
Bobby Thriller, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks.
You got even people on Beaver's Twitter telling him free money. Free money. It's free. It's free.
I hated that toast. I wanted to throw up. Don't if people in my comments don't ever fucking reply to my shit with lock or free money ever. I want to punch you in the face if you do.
Everyone should go do it now. Everyone should go take.
I hate that.
Every
shit.
Post that Beaver
Nothing pisses
tweets
me off
now.
more.
Everyone should go be like, "This is free."
I hate people that post their bets under lock. Like, bro, you're such a cornball. It's just. Whatever.
Well, and then people are surprised when it loses, like as if there was there was only one side that you could even entertain betting on.
Cornball ass move.
I'm going to comment on Beaver's tweets and say, "Lock. This is free under every single one now."
Kyle knows I hate it too. Every time I'm in the office and he says some shit like, "Oh well, we won," I freak out. I hate that shit.
He hates it.
I hate it. I hate it with a burning passion.
So do I, dude.
But you got the hat on today, right? Is that a Dodgers hat you have on?
Yeah, if you do have a Dodgers hat on. The thing is, I'm gonna cash Entos is gonna cash because Bobby Thriller is gonna get shelled again. He's gonna be exposed as a fraud.
Wrong.
And Paddock's gonna get hit up.
Okay, let's move on to Phillies Cardinals. Cardinals came through for me last night. I had the Cardinals at plus money on my ticket. That being said, we got Nola against Lance Lynn. Commish, what are your thoughts on Nola in this spot on the road at Busch here?
Look, Aaron Nola has begun to worry me a little bit, but you cannot get a more favorable matchup than what he has today. The Cardinals' offense has been absolutely horrific to start the season. They're bottom third, and there's six offensive metrics that correlate significantly with run scoring, and they're bottom third in all of them. And they're not running a low BABIP. It's not like they haven't been overly unlucky. Like, this has just been a really bad offense against right-handed pitching so far. You look at the weather in this game today, super pitcher friendly again. Roto Grinders weather edge is showing negative 45.3% for home runs, negative 22.3% for total runs. So I think the colder temperatures and the wind blowing in should benefit pitching here. The Phillies, they're also bottom third offensively against right-handed pitching to start the year, but this was a top 10 unit last year, and they have nearly an identical lineup. They do have a super low BABIP. They haven't been making a ton of hard contact. They have been hitting a little bit more ground balls than is desirable, which is maybe contributing to that low BABIP to start the year. But then you look at the bullpen situation. I don't know how the Cardinals are going to turn back any of these guys. Mm-hmm. Helsley's not available. Jojo Romero probably not available with the quick turnaround for a day game. And then the rest of the guys are in the high leverage guys are questionable or should be at least a little bit fatigued. So for me, this is I bet the Phillies. I feel like you have to bet the Phillies here. If they screw you, they screw you. But this should be a one-sided game, in my opinion.
Here's the bullpen that Commissioner's just talking about on the screen here. You can see Helsley's not going to be able to go. He pitched back-to-back nights. Romero just threw 34 pitches. Kittredge just threw 21 pitches. No Liberatore either. Not that Liberatore should make or break anything, but Cardinals.
He's a lefty out of the pen.
No, but
they don't have right.
Yeah.
They don't have a lefty to use out of the pen. They're really limited. So I mean, how? In fact, with Nola on the mound against Lance Lynn, doesn't the price look a little sketchy? Like,
dude, yes, this price reeks.
Well, I got it minus 125 last night, so it's not like it's not like it's just sitting there. It's
how the hell did it even open at minus 125?
Maybe it opened before the bullpen usage from the Cardinals last night.
It did because I sent this out before. I mean, well, no, the game was over, but yeah.
This should have opened at minus 150.
So go ahead, take the Cardinals then, Sharpie.
I'll take the Cardinals.
Are you serious? I was joking.
Yeah, I'll take the Cardinals.
Stop, dude.
Philadelphia owns some mediocre marks against Lynn through 91 plate appearances, 674 OPS, 231 average. He got shelled against them last year. No surprises there. But one thing I will say for him is that this Phillies bats have been just as brutal as the Cardinals have been thus far. The last 6 to face them, 2.88 ERA, 108 WHIP. Nola has been really good against the Cardinals at home. His 4 home games against the Cardinals, 4-0, 0.59 ERA, 0.56 WHIP, but his last 6 at St. Louis, we see those numbers skyrocket. He's 1-3, 4.67 ERA, 1.3 home run per 9. Sure, he was able to bounce back against Washington last game, but I'm just not really seeing anything that would lead me to all of a sudden trust him again. This is just not a guy of trust. I haven't trusted him since last year. Cardinals have been facing some tough righties lately. This price is strange. I'm just going to take the Cardinals here.
Okay, so
I strongly disagree.
I get it, but you dared me, and I don't care about this game, so I'll take the Cardinals. I'll be on the other side.
This game just went from -156 to -136 in real time on FanDuel.
Like just now?
I literally just watched it change on my screen.
That's crazy.
I see 144 on FanDuel.
Let's see. I'm seeing -135, -136, -135, -130 on Caesars. What's going on?
There's nobody missing from the lineup either.
Yeah, Commish is right. At 11:10 a.m., so 35 minutes ago, it was -160.
I thought this game had a good chance of getting rained out anyway, so that's why I wasn't really stressing about capping this game.
All right, there's probably a chance I'm going to pass on this one. I'm just going to put Phillies up for me, but how does
you should take the Phillies. You should bet the Phillies.
I already did. Don't worry. We'll get it as a loss on the website. It's all good.
Weasel.
I already gave it out last night. Don't worry. So...
Toast is talking like he's like down significantly. He's up like 6 units on the season.
Yeah, I know. He has one bad diet. He's losing his mind over here.
The way Toast talks about himself, I would think that he sucks.
Yeah, that's why people are like, just fade Toast. And like, because that's how, like the way he talks, you would think he's like super down. He's having a great season.
Jay Langoliers hit 3 home runs yesterday, and I lost this game. Like, I can't, there's nothing I can do. As far as Lance Lynn against those numbers, what Beaver neglected to tell you that 95% of them were from 2013 and beyond. So that means absolutely nothing. And as far as Aaron Nola goes, the only good person, I love that I got to laugh out of it though. The only good person on the Cardinals lineup that's done actual damage to him is Wilson Contreras. So as long as we can get around him, we should be fine. The Phillies have obviously everybody in their bullpen that they would need. The Cardinals don't have a good one. So like I said, gave this out last night. Line movement's terrifying. I'll probably lose.
Yeah,
Contreras isn't even in the lineup today. So.
Who?
Oh no, he is actually. My bad. He is.
But Goldschmidt's not.
Goldschmidt is not. And the line moved down. What the hell is
this doesn't
going
make
on?
any sense to me.
I know. That's
we'll live
weird.
with it. I mean, if we get cucked on this, we get cucked. But how do you not bet the Phillies here?
I know. Prop Beaver's reasoning didn't even make sense.
No.
It's like commission Toast for idiots.
If it hits, it hits.
He was like, you guys dared me. That was like his reasoning.
If you want to dare, we'll get the dare.
All right. So we got Mariners, Toronto. I like Logan Gilbert, but Toast, do you have any confidence at all in the Seattle lineup? I mean, they're terrible.
I don't have confidence in this Seattle team. Fuck them. I'm so over this team. I'm so over this team. It's like I told you, fuck Seattle as a staff organization, as a baseball club. Like, I have nothing. I don't want anything to do with this team anymore. I played over 8 in this game. I think that Logan Gilbert is probably going to give up a few, considering that every single Seattle Mariners pitcher gives up at least 3 or 4 through the first 5, not to mention the fact that he has terrible numbers against Toronto. I'll let Beaver go in detail about that. And then Yusei Kikuchi, I don't really love him as much at the Rogers Center. Also, the Mariners just got done seeing like Boston and Cleveland and stuff. So they've seen a lot of spin. I can see them getting lucky and getting a couple runs here. So I played over 8. It is what it is.
Okay. Let's bring up Prop Beaver. Do you agree with his over?
Yeah, I kind of. I think the Jays are going to get busy here. I don't know. So I don't know if I'd necessarily agree with the over. I'm going with the Blue Jays first 5 money line at -106. As Toast was mentioning, I mean, this Mariners team is just pissed right now. The pitching staff is looking as vulnerable as ever, and now enters Logan Gilbert, who has struggled mightily against the Blue Jays in his career. Through 4 starts against Toronto, he's gotten sparked. He's 0-2. He has a 6.92 ERA, a 1.55 WHIP, and has allowed 3 home runs per 9. He lost the first 5 innings all 4 times, but won the full game the last 2 times due to a Toronto bullpen meltdown. With Chad Green going back-to-back days and Swanson and Romano still out, I would rather isolate this matchup in the first 5. I think that's the way that Toast could hit this over in the late innings if those Mariners bats wake up. Through Gilbert's career, we've consistently seen worse results against righties than lefties. Blue Jays are starting 6 righties today. I thought they were going to start 7, but we're starting 6, so we still have more righties in the lineup than lefties, which is good. And this Jays lineup, they've suddenly found some life against righties. And it may just be that they're running into the Mariners, but it may also be that they're improving because after a brutal run to begin the season, the last 4 to face them have a 187 whip, 662 ERA. Gilbert's hits allowed line is 5.5 and juiced over. He's allowed 2 or more runs in all but one of the 16 games where he's allowed 6+ hits going back to last year, allowing 3+ runs in 11 of those scenarios. So I think we're going to get some run support for Kikuchi here. On the other side, we got Kikuchi bounce back in a major way at Yankee Stadium. Very tough place for lefties. I really like the Yankees lineup against lefties. Now he's going to find himself back at home where he's performed better the last 3 seasons. Home day games have specifically been the sweet spot for him. 302 WOBA, 24.1 K to BB percentage, so elite command in those spots, and a 3.23 xFIP. Mariners bats have struggled to produce against Kikuchi through 50 plate appearances, just a 687 OPS. Kikuchi's already faced him twice as a J, hasn't allowed a run, 0.88 whip, 11 Ks per 9. Now, one thing I will say is that there's no denying that the Mariners have performed better against lefties than righties thus far through the small sample we have. But this is a trend I picked up on last year. This Mariners team cannot hit lefties during the day. They cannot hit lefties during the day. At night last year, 3rd in WRC+, 11th in ISO, 9th in OPS. In the day, 29th, 30th. They faced 2 lefties thus far. The one they faced in the day didn't give up a run through 6 2/3 innings. The one they faced at night allowed 8 hits and 3 runs through 5 innings. I'm just going to keep fading Seattle until they force me to not with the way they're playing right now. I like the Jays, the way the Jays are playing. They just paid me 2 days in a row, so I'm going to back them here.
Yeah, it's tough to argue with that. And I'm by no means taking Seattle, but I could see Logan Gilbert pitching well. So I would go more towards – I'm not going to bet this one, but I would go more towards a first 5 under. You can get a juice 4.5. You have to pay minus 120 for this. I just looked.
I tried this in the first game of the series.
Yeah.
It worked, didn't it?
Yeah, we cashed. I tailed you on that, and it cashed.
No, it lost.
No, it definitely
cashed.
It cashed. It was 4-0. It cashed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I remember sitting there sick because I isolated Castillo, and I lost while everybody else won.
Yeah.
I think they had 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. You
Toast is giving himself L's.
But then it
He didn't even have.
He's giving himself imaginary L's. He's in the deep end.
Yeah, I tailed you on that. We won that bet.
Because I think I was in Seattle that night, and I was on the over, and so I wasn't rooting against Toast by any means in the first 5, but I think he texted me.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Thank God, they got some runs on the board, and I went to go look, and they had not, and I was like, they must have had a runner on base, and he's just willing this into existence, but.
Commish, anything for this one?
Dude, I feel like I have to stubbornly go back to Seattle. There's no way this team can be this bad, and
that is stubborn.
Challenging.
Right.
Seattle's like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
I didn't give this out in his official play. I'm not going big on this by any means, but Chad Green, 23 and 25 pitches the last 2 nights. Chad Green was really laboring last night, too. I mean, I feel like if Seattle could have got one more batter to the plate, if they wouldn't hit in that double play to end the game, things could have got really saucy in the last inning there. Yimi Garcia, 27 pitches, day off yesterday. Trevor Richards, 28. He's coming back for a day game potentially. So he's
unavailable. He's went 2 of the last 3 days.
That's okay for sure. Then I mean, I would have been shocked if he would have come back, but there's just nobody in this Toronto bullpen that I would trust to protect a lead. Seattle still has Munoz, and these other guys haven't thrown back-to-back days, so I think there's a chance that they could be available / somewhat effective. Again, I'm not giving this out as an official, but I will be on this personally, just stubbornly trying to get a few dollars back.
I'll give you this, Commish. I can see it getting dicey in the late innings. So,
and that's part of the reason. Part of the reason I didn't want to go into it much because I don't want to talk about Seattle much. But part of that reason is that Toronto bullpen has 2 of their best 3 guys down, and then Toronto saw essentially everybody in Seattle's bullpen yesterday, besides Munoz and Saucedo, regardless if they're available or not. They just saw them. So I'll take my chances.
The comments really liked
also,
it
George
too.
Kirby will be fine. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, he looked great so
That's
far.
fucking awesome.
I will be on him 5 days from now. I will tell you that right now.
Yeah, I said that 5 days ago.
If he's facing a bunch of lefties, I will too. If he's not,
I won't.
well.
I won't.
All right. So we got next game, Arizona at Coors. All right. Short line here. I guess that's because Tommy Henry's on the mound, and I specifically know for a fact Prop Beaver is not a Tommy Henry guy.
Nelly.
I thought you didn't like Tommy Henry. I thought you said that.
No, I don't think he's very good. I faded him against the Braves, I believe, and I cashed. But I mean, I don't have any bad words for Tommy Henry. He's cashed me a few bets in my day. No disrespect to the head man. I did fade him in this exact matchup. That's when I took the Rockies and I cashed. It was Tommy Henry against Gomber. And
it was this exact pitching matchup?
Yes, it was this exact matchup, but in Arizona. And the reason I took it is because Gomber is much better on the road. But Gomber sucks at home. He got lucky in that Tampa game with all the weird strike calls that ump was giving him, and I think he's due to get absolutely shelled here. So at the short price, even with Tommy Henry on the road, I will be taking the D-backs at that short price.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to argue with that. Toast just cast with the Rockies the other night. You going back to the well here?
No, I played Arizona and I'm regretting it. I got him at 140 last night. It's 120 right now. So don't love it in any way, shape, or form.
120?
Yeah.
What is with these crazy line movement in the last 30 minutes?
Yeah, dude, you know why? This keeps happening too. When they're facing lefties on the third day of the series, they keep sitting Gabriel Moreno, and I noticed every time he sits, they drop that line 20 cents. It's now happened every time he's set.
You can now get a minus 115 Arizona on Caesars right now.
Oh, Jesus, that's scary.
Pick 'em.
Yeah, that's scary.
What is that? Are they
I didn't
missing
actually
bullpen
get this,
pieces?
thank God.
I just get fucking banned.
No, they should have their full bullpen available. What is going on? Why are they giving us Arizona to pick 'em?
I think it is the Moreno situation because Tucker Barnhart is a lefty against a lefty.
No fucking way that Gabriel Romano is worth 30 cents. I'm
I 100% agree with you. I 1,000% agree with you.
I don't know. I've now seen it 4 times where he sits and the line drops 20 cents. 4 times I've seen it.
So
and if you're looking at the difference in WRC plus and stuff, it actually is a massive difference. You're going
massive, but that's not 20 cents massive. That's my point though.
So do you think I should take Arizona at the minus 115 or am I walking into a trap?
Yeah, walking into a trap. I would stay off at that price. That's scary as hell.
I mean, I'll tell you guys what I wrote. I mean, honestly, I don't really worry about Tommy Henry. I mean, he's had a decent start in Coors Field before. I thought that at minus 140, I was getting the Diamondbacks at a much better team. I don't expect the Rockies to continue to play well at all times. And Austin Gomber not only has bad numbers against this Arizona team, he doesn't go deep into the ball game. So we should get 5 or 6 innings against that putrid Colorado Rockies bullpen. So at a short price, it was really hard for me not to like it. But now that I've lost fucking 30 cents of value, I can't honestly give it out to anybody and be confident.
I'm not scared.
Yeah.
I'm not scared.
I mean, I lost plenty of value the past 2 days on my props. Like my Bassett prop I gave out at minus 122 yesterday was at plus 120 at the first pitch, and he still flew over that. So I don't know. Still got hope, bud.
I just took it at minus 115. I'm in on Arizona. I don't care. I'll be the squarest dude ever. Don't care. Give me my D-backs.
Oh, I get that title because I got him at 140. So I'm the squarest dude ever.
I think betting him after the line movement is actually more square.
Yeah, because you're walking into the trap.
Yeah. And I almost called you Andy again. Commish.
Oh, Jesus
Christ.
Any reason to take the Rockies here or nah?
No, you will never, ever, ever see me co-sign a Rockies money line bet at any point. I don't care who's pitching. I don't care if Beaver's pitching. I will not play the Rockies on the money line. This is just a systems play for me. And with or without Moreno, I'll live with whatever happens here. But team total over 2.5, first 5 for the Diamondbacks. If you look at what they've done this far, we've talked about this in the DMs a little bit. But like one of the advantages of being a left-handed pitcher is that you're kind of a novelty. There's like 10% of the population is left-handed. There's not a ton of left-handed pitchers in Major League Baseball, especially in the starting rotation. So typically, teams are not seeing left-handed starters on a regular basis. Today is the 13th game of the season for the Diamondbacks. This is the 8th time already that they are facing a left-handed starter. Second time they've seen Gomber, they've put up 10 against Freeland, 4 against Gomber, 3 against Cortez, 2 against Carlos Rodon, 8 against Freed, 2 against Sale, and 4 against Freeland. I know 2 of those were unearned, but they're still putting the ball in play, giving themselves a chance. So over 2.5, first 5. They keep doing it, and I think it's honestly more of a derivative price than anything else, because they can't keep giving Arizona massive team totals because they can't hit right-handed pitching in the late innings. So I'll take my chances to get 3 off a lefty in the first 5, and then, if hopefully Arizona can hold on for you guys, but we'll see at that point, I guess.
All right. DB, he's in the background. We have 2 more games to get to, and then we're going over to the Masters. Just let you know, I saw that you made it. So let's move on to the next game. Everyone obviously clicked on Arizona there. Washington, San Francisco. I don't think I even touched this one. I hit it over in this one, first game of the series. Didn't even touch it last night. Commish, I got you up first. What are your thoughts on? Is it time? Is it Corbin Day?
It's always Corbin Day. I'm more curious. I'm curious what everybody else thinks about this Nationals offense, because they've actually been really, really good against right-handed pitching so far.
I like them.
They're 4th in OPS, 4th in ISO against right-handed pitching to start the season, 7th if you look at their park-adjusted metrics. They're better than I thought they were going to be offensively to start the year. I don't know if it's a small sample size fluke or what's going on here, but I really, really like Jordan Hicks. I'm not very eager to play a 4.5 team total at Oracle Park for the Giants, especially if we're assuming they're not going to get that 9th at bat. That isn't something I'm super eager to jump on. They haven't been fantastic against left-handed pitching. It's Patrick Corbin. It's a day game. We still don't have their lineup either, so I haven't bet anything for this game yet. But I don't know. I mean, there's no way I'm betting on Patrick Corbin. It's more so like, do I need to isolate the Giants' offense or what do I do here?
Well, something you have to remember is Patrick Corbin's a leader, and he's the type of guy that rallies the troops. And Beaver, are you taking the plus 170?
No, but I'm going to take the over because I think both guys are gettable too here.
Gettable too.
They're gettable too. Everybody knows that terminology. Hicks' first 2 starts this season have gone extremely well. 0.78 ERA, 2.98 xFIP, 56 ground ball rate. But what really stands out to me is the 2.2% walk rate, because that has always been an issue for Hicks in his career. He's got a 12.3 walk rate in his career. In his previous stint as a starter with the Cardinals, that shot up to 17.5%, which is treacherous. As a starter with the Cardinals, he had a 5.47 ERA, 3.43 WOBA, 1.56 WHIP, 5.13 xFIP. So is this a new Hicks we're seeing, or just some bad competition? Well, the Padres versus righties, they're just middle of the pack, 14th in WRC+, 16th in ISO, 11th in OPS. Maybe it was an easy matchup from a walk perspective. But even in the spring, Hicks only walked 8 batters through 17 innings. That was his lowest BB in 9 in a spring by a mile since 2018, his rookie year. But one thing I will say is that this Nats offense is hitting righties well right now, and they're also drawing walks at a high rate. On top of that, they have a lot of lefties in their lineup. And if you look at what Hicks has struggled against as a starter in his career, it's always been lefties. Even this year, lefties are posting a 3.52 WOBA and a 1.5 WHIP against him. So could this be a nice sell high spot on Hicks here? Especially if he doesn't go that far in the game. This Giants bullpen has been horrible lately. On the other side, we got Patrick Corbin, known fan god, but also known leader as well. The current lineup against Corbin through 110 plate appearances has an 896 OPS, 309 average. He faced off against them last year at San Francisco and did pretty well. He only allowed 2 runs, but he also allowed 8 hits, so I think he got a bit lucky there.
Situational pitching.
True. Very clutch guy. On the road against righties has been his worst spot the last 2 seasons, set to face 7 of them today. He has been much better in the day, but that's only been the case at home for him. He's had nearly identical day-night numbers in road starts, both of them poor. The Giants only faced 1 starting lefty thus far, but they got 9 guys on base. They just didn't get any runs across. I think that was a bit of bad luck. This lineup is supposed to produce at a much higher level against lefties than righties based off their production the last 3 seasons. I think we're going to see an over here.
So Prop Beaver likes the over. I can't get there with this super low number and a guy like Corbin on the mound.
So real quick, too, with Hicks, one thing to note is, I mean, I don't expect him to run a 2.2 walk rate for the whole season, but if you look at what he did last year after the trade deadline, they've toned his velo down considerably, which I think is helping him command his pitches a little bit more. And he's just throwing a lot more sinkers early in counts. So the walk rates that he's had throughout his career, I don't expect those to resurface at any point. I think he's much more capable of pounding the zone with what he's currently doing and how he's approaching hitters. But it's I mean, if he's going to walk guys, like every walk he's issued so far this season has been to a lefty. And I think it does make sense, everything you said about the platoon splits. That's why I can't get there with the Giants. I just think at minus 200, I get it. Everybody wants to fade the Nationals after they've won the last couple of days, but I don't know. I just can't get there.
Especially with the way the Giants' offense is producing. Kyle, I will say this total's up to 8.5 now.
I know
Does
it
that make
says
you feel a bit better about it.
No, I mean, to be honest, 7.5 was weird, but I'm taking the Nats plus 1.5. They're hitting. I don't trust the Giants lineup, and Corbin's ready. This is a Corbin spot.
Did you check the Washington bullpen at all? Did you even look?
Every high leverage arm they have is
just look.
used.
Just look, just for 1 second, and tell me if you're okay with that. But
That's why I also like the over. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Giants bullpen's pretty screwed also. No Rogers brothers, either of them. And no Walker.
I see Tyler Rogers should be fine. He hasn't pitched in a week. He threw 27 pitches.
He's been 27. He's not pitching tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that
They
far.
got Matt Barnes available, Toast.
I'm sticking with my bet. What are you betting, Toast?
Young-Hoo Lee under 0.5 strikeouts, like I do every single Giants game.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have no desire to bet this game in any way, shape, or form. I wish that the Washington bullpen wasn't absolutely taxed, because Patrick Corbin has actually pitched well in San Francisco his last couple starts there. Nothing crazy, but 13 innings, 5 runs, 12 strikeouts. I mean, it's not terrible. Jordan Hicks has seen the same lineup as twice, and he's had walk issues as his whole life as a starter. So maybe they're fixed right now, but I would lean Giants. But yeah, there's just no way I can get there, so it's passed.
All right, we moved on to the final game. Rays, Angels. I'm 2-0 in the series. I took the Angels in the first game, took the Rays last night. First glance, I would like to go back to the Rays, but Soriano's a righty, though, right, Prop Beaver?
Yes.
Yes, he is a righty.
So I trust your notes about the Rays against lefties, and it's been good to me so far. Now I don't know about the Rays lineup against a righty, so I don't know what to do here. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I could go into this one a bit. I went with the Tampa Bay first 5 money line at minus 130. And that's weird for me because I don't really plan on laying that juice with Tampa on the road, especially against righties. Not really a spot I look to back them, but I think this is a spot where we can make a bit of an exception here. Soriano set to make his first start in the MLB. In his career, there has been one glaring trend. He is significantly worse against righties than lefties. He has a 220 WOBA against lefties that goes to 384 against righties. He has a 0.4 home run per 9 against lefties that goes to 1.88 against righties. He has a 3.42 FIP against lefties that goes to 5.67 against righties. This is a Rays lineup that starts 7 righties daily. So normally a Rays lineup that I wouldn't really back in the spot actually may have a nice split here. And when you look at the data for Soriano, you may think just looking at the ERA that he's better at home, but all the underlying numbers say that he's actually worse at home. So he's now going to be at home facing a lineup full of righties. The one thing that kind of scares me right now, though, is that if you look at righty starters against the Rays have been getting completely shut down. The last 5 to face them have held a 2.43 ERA, 0.88 WHIP, and 2 of those games were at what the fuck was it? 2 of those games were at Coors. So that's just terrifying to me. One thing I will note, though, is that in road day games against righties, the last 3 seasons in a row now, they've ranked top 5 in WRC plus. So that's good right there. Maybe the offense could produce here. On the other side, we got Littell. He's looked good through 2 starts. Angels against righties haven't really impressed me, but one thing I will say is they looked pretty good the last 2 days. They were able to get some runs off Savali. They were able to get the Eflin. So that is one thing that scares me. But if we're just looking at the overall sample size of the season, I don't trust this Angels lineup against righties nearly as much as I do against lefties. Soriano really struggles against righties. The Rays should have plenty of them, and we have the better pitcher on the mound. So I'll take the first 5 edge here at the minus 130. I didn't actually lock it in.
I was going to say, well, you can get it at minus 110 now on MGM.
What?
These prices are going
Think
crazy.
they didn't lock that in. What is going on today?
Commish, anything for this game? Muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Thank you. I don't know that happened. I'm waiting for lineups because of all the sharp information that Prop Beaver shared. You never really know with these quick turnarounds for day games what kind of lineup you're going to get. Goldschmidt being out, I think a prime example. Moreno is a little bit more predictable because he's a catcher, but a lot of times teams use this opportunity to get some guys off their feet. I think I have to go with the Rays here, though. The Angels have been a pleasant surprise in some respects, but Soriano just massive command issues. You look at him, pretty much every single level he's been at, he's run not just a double-digit walk rate, but like if you look at 15.4%, 15%, 15%, 13%, 18%, 24%. Like he walks so many guys that even if the Rays can't put a ton of good bat on the baseball here, I think they're going to have a chance to score some runs. Littell just pounds his zone, man. He's one of those pitchers who gets in a rhythm, and he keeps guys off balance. He's converted reliever to a starter. I like him. I still like the Rays long term this season. This is a pivotal game in a series. Are they going to win the series or lose the series? I'm willing to take a playable price at the Rays here.
Okay, so 2 on Tampa. Prop Beaver's isolating the first 5, though. Toast, would you agree with them?
Yeah, I was trying to get to Tampa first 5. I didn't know the splits were so bad, but I knew they were pretty bad for Soriano. And I was trying to get there with Tampa. That line movement has me a little bit scared now, but yeah, I think I'm just going to end up playing Tampa Bay first 5 run line at plus 115 and see what I can do at plus.
Oh, you're going to play the run line. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, especially with that line movement, I might as well just play. I mean, if they're gonna play well, they're gonna play well. I'm gonna get my money.
This one will be a pass for me. I'm 2-0 in this series. I'm good. I'm good with standing up, walking away from the table. 2-0 with this series.
Yeah. Sauce is out of the lineup today. He's getting off his feet.
Yeah, it's a getaway day. All right, so we're going on. You guys, Commish, you can't make it later, right?
Correct.
So Prop Beaver and Toast, you guys are both down to come back later, right, for the night games?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Cool. Let's talk
Awesome.
Masters.
Sounds good.
All right. Sorry to keep you waiting there, man. Yeah, so I'm assuming, at least for myself, most of us are very, we like to bet golf, but don't have a lot of success in it. And I'm really looking for just a basic strategy moving forward. Should I what market do you think is the most profitable for golf? Should you bet the matchups? Should you bet your favorite, who you think is going to win? What if someone asked you that question, what would you say?
So I think there's a couple schools of thought, but the consensus is it's one of 2 markets. It's either matchups or it's finish position bets. So outrights are a lot of fun, and I love betting outright winners. So picking who's going to win the tournament. Those are fun. Those are fun to brag about because you can hit them at huge numbers. I mean, it's fun to say you hit a guy at 100-1 or whatever.
Of course.
But it's obviously really tough to do. So, but in golf with outrights, you could hit 5 bets a year and be profitable. So that is true with that. So finish position bets and head-to-heads are the most profitable to sustain long-term success. Personally, I just don't do well with head-to-head bets.
Right.
So I really love the finish position bets. Top 10s, top 20s, top 40s. Doing that has worked for me, and those are a lot of fun. It's a great sweat.
You know what I wish, and maybe this market does exist, and I'm not aware of it. I wish you could bet. Is it possible to bet all right, Rory McIlroy over under 70.5 today?
Yep.
Because okay, so that's a market I think I'd be interested in because then I could use previous rounds. How's he playing last month? How did he play here last year? And I feel like, but when I compare him to other golfers, it's like I don't know how all of them are going to play. I feel like there's too many factors.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and I will say the books have gotten better with adding some of those props and some of those round props or hole props or stuff like that. Obviously, they're going to bring out all the stops for majors, but from a week to week, I mean, dude, you can bet on golf like 45 weeks a year. I'm not exaggerating. So they don't always offer those level of props for, some event in the middle of June or some event in September when it's football season. But they are starting to add more and more options like that, and you can certainly get them for the majors. So I do love firing on those too. Don't get me wrong, but pre-tournament, I prefer finish position bets, outrights, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the finishing position bets I suck at. I tried, can't do it. I'm pulling up some odds. I'm gonna throw some names out there and see if you think that there's some value on betting them.
I mean, here's the thing: golf betting is hard. Like, it's really hard because golf is so unpredictable to begin with, right? It's weather, it's course conditions. It's a sport that there's not a ton of. Honestly, there's not a ton of transparency. Like, you don't understand what's happening for a guy playing golf as much as you may for a guy playing football or playing basketball, or there's like things going on in the background. It's such a mental game. If you've ever played golf, you know how mental it is. You know how the slightest little movement in your body that you know you're doing or you don't know you're doing can affect that golf ball in so many ways. And even for the pros who are the best at it, the slightest little thing being off, whether it's a mental thing or a physical thing, can change the whole trajectory of their round, good or bad, and nobody knows. Like, even the pros don't know. So, but that is why I love it, because handicapping it is fun as hell, because every week it's a new puzzle. Even if it's a course we've seen before, the conditions, the players, the field, everything's different. So it's a new puzzle. And also that means, like, normally the odds are pretty juicy. I mean, I talk to a lot of guys who bet on the NFL and NBA, and they're fired up about a minus 110 bet, like what's on your hat right there. I don't ever bet a freaking minus 110 bet in golf. That's insane. It's plus money only for me, because that's just how it goes. It's the same reason I don't bet a favorite. I'm not going to bet the favorite on any golf tournament unless we rewind the clock back to 2000s Tiger Woods. I mean, even Scotty Scheffler this week is a 4-1 favorite. There's no way.
That's crazy.
There's no way I'm doing that.
There's no chance I would ever. The same when you bet NASCAR. Like, you never bet Kyle Larson at plus 350. It's just he's not enough of a payout.
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't give him an intro. So him and it's just two guys, right? Or is it three now? I thought I saw a third guy.
No, I mean, we do some collabs and stuff, but it's me and Pat Perry. We've been doing it 9 years.
Yeah, no, 9 years. These guys are called Tour Junkies. He's actually, so this guy grew up in Augusta, and they rent a house for the Masters every year. So nobody is going to be more Masters out this weekend than these guys over here. Some of the questions that you're probably sick of getting, but I just saw it in the comments. Tiger Woods to make the cut.
I talked about this earlier today with somebody. I do think that Tiger making the cut is a decent bet. If you want to have a bet, listen, I mean, dude, you're a stud and you're a pro, and I'm okay at this, but I love golf betting. It's fun, right? We're having fun.
I just suck at it.
If you want to bet, if you want something for Tiger because you have, like most of us, the Tiger erection, that is the bet that I would have, because I don't want to bet him top 20 or top 10. I don't think he's going to win. Bet him to make the cut, because I mean, the top 50 in ties make the cut. There's 88 players here. 5 of them are, senior citizens. 7 of them are amateurs. So you throw out a lot of the field. Like, Tiger should make the cut. I want to say I saw a number earlier. He was like minus 104. That's like the only minus bet.
Minus 104. So basically, a pick 'em to make the cut.
Yeah. So I don't hate it.
All right, so he said lean towards Tiger making the cut. I feel like whenever you're betting on Tiger Woods, though, just the publicity alone is just you're not going to get a fair price.
No, you're not.
Because the whole world's betting him to. I mean, whatever Tiger Woods price, I think it's plus 15,000 to win. Everyone's betting that, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyone else have questions in the? Someone said Tiger erection.
Sorry, it just came out. I mean, I saw somebody in the chat say something about betting golf. It takes 3 days to finish. It's lame. Dude, this is why betting golf is fantastic, because it's so much bang for your buck. If it's a pre-tournament bet, like a finish position bet, let's say it's a top 20. You're betting on guys that finish top 20. You're sweating that from the jump for 4 days. You have the cut sweat. So, there's always a cut after 2 rounds for the most part, and there is at the Masters every year. So you're going to have a sweat on Friday. You just got to have your guy make the cut, even if he's in 50th. Like, you just need him to play the weekend, or obviously your bet's dead. Then if he makes the cut, you've got another 2 days of sweat, and you're going to have a sweat on Saturday, sweat on Sunday. Like, your money just goes further betting on golf, and the variance is fun and it's wild, and you can capitalize in the live betting market. You get more bang for your buck betting on golf than any other sport.
Yeah, and one thing I will say, obviously during the summer, golf is on. Well, not during the summer, all year. Sunday is the last day of most golf tournaments, so I like to place a bet in case my original bet isn't doing well. I like to live bet on Sunday morning. Because whoever I'll pick someone that's in the top 10, which is always fun because you have someone in the running at the end. Someone mentioned in the comments, and it's a guy that I personally root for. I've bet a lot on him. I've lost a lot on him. I'm a Xander Schauffele guy. I feel like 2 years ago, this guy was like up and coming, and then did he take a step backwards last year? What happened? I feel like I didn't hear his name much last year.
No. What's funny is, so you bring up a guy who, if you follow the Tour Junkies, you know that I am a major Xander denier.
I'm a fan.
I may have spent like a unit betting Xander over the last 2 years cumulatively. And because I just never really bought the guy. And I'm telling you right now, Sauce, Xander is a guy that I like this week. For the first time in literally years. And I golf is just weird, man. You go through different feelings with guys, and you see things, you pick up on little things with guys. Obviously, he's playing great. I mean, he really is. He's off to a great start this year. Tons of top 10s, top 5s, runner-up at the Players, third at the Amex, back in the second at the Tour Championship in the summer. The guy's playing amazing golf, and he's checking every box from a statistical category. When I run a model on like bet the number or something, his stats and his model numbers are off the charts. He's done great at Augusta. His record at Augusta is fantastic. He's got a runner-up in 2019 when he could have run down Tiger, T3 in 2021, top 10 last year. Checks all of those boxes. One of the things I do every week is I watch press conferences for every golfer. Every interview, Monday through Wednesday, I'm watching them all. And you pick up on things, and sometimes your read is wrong on a guy. But Xander's press conference on Monday at Augusta was tremendous. Not just confident, because like a lot of guys come into Augusta confident, but he came in confident. He was very relaxed. He seemed like he didn't really have the weight of the world on his shoulders. And I think there's something to be said for that. Like last year, Rory came in with so much damn pressure, and some of it was self-inflicted. The rest of it is, pressure that the media puts on Rory, and he missed the cut. Like Xander just looked so good in that presser on Monday, and I'm watching it going, okay, I'm in. He was 18-1 on Saturday and Sunday, I think. He's shortened to 14-1 now. That's starting to get in that like.
Now we're getting too close, right?
Now we're flying too close to the sun, but maybe I don't know. I know you're not a big like juice it up parlay guy, but maybe you juice it.
Well, I mean, for I'm open to suggestions for anything for golf because what I'm doing, I'm not interested in changing the way I bet basketball and football because what I do works for me. But
it works.
Yeah, I'm open to suggestions here, and I just wrote Xander down. I'm definitely gonna post Xander as because he's not only one of my favorites, but you just co-signed him. Top 10 though, plus 140. That is not very juicy.
Yeah,
it's expensive, but I mean,
I'm
down.
Well, like I said, he's shortened, so I mean, people, the sentiment is all in favor of Xander right now.
So I'm gonna put that up on the screen. I'm basically just gonna go through a couple guys that I was considering betting, and then you could like cosign.
Okay.
So my actually one of the guys that works here was saying that he thinks Spieth breaks out of his Masters slump. Or are you because ever since he won, he's never performed well here. Is there truth to that?
I don't know about never. Let's
or he just never won it again. Maybe it is.
He's not won it again. He was T4 last year, T3 in 2021, T3 in 2018. Like the guys.
Oh, he's right there then.
The guy's dialed at Augusta.
I don't know what this guy was talking about then. he comes to work in 2 hours. I'll talk to him. Dude, you gave me incorrect information.
Spieth had a really good week last week at Valero, which was good to see because he's been lackluster the last month or so. So for him to have a good week at Valero and a really good week ball striking, which is important, that's nice for Spieth. I do think Spieth is worth a look. I think he's worth a look. I think he's worth a look to win. I mean, the thing about Augusta and the Masters is Augusta is the course for course history, course horse guys to be able to find it here. I mean, it's
Why
like
is that, you think?
Because we could talk about this for hours, but there's so much nuance about the Augusta National, about, angles, about those greens, about places to miss, places to pin locations, to when you see that pin location that signals, okay, that is a green light all day, or that is a red light all day. Or, if the pin's over here, we got to play to this side of the fairway to attack. If the pin's over here, we're playing to this side. Or the wind, being able to understand the wind around that golf course. There are so many little nuances. That's why a guy like Phil Mickelson last year, who came into last week in horrible form at like 300-1 playing on Live, almost won. I mean, he didn't almost win. He lost by 4 shots, but he finished runner-up.
Right, because he's just so familiar with the course.
That edge is so much greater at Augusta than any other golf course, any other major in the world. So even a guy like Spieth, who, long-term form has not been great. It's just not. Again, played well last week for 4 rounds, but long-term form has not been great.
I'm not going to put Spieth down then.
But he could come to Augusta because of what he knows and because of how he feels at Augusta and turn up. So, I mean, he's like, what is he, like 30-1, 30? I haven't checked.
Spieth to top 10 is plus 205 on ESPN Bet you can get.
I mean, I don't hate that.
What about another guy that he cashed a nice top 5 bet for me one time, so he has a special place in my heart. I'm a Patrick Cantlay guy, but I don't know much about him. The look you just gave is you don't like Cantlay in this one.
Cantlay, now I think Cantlay's a freakishly talented player, right? He is like Spieth in poor form. He's not played well this year. He's had really 1, maybe 2 decent finishes. His only decent finish was the Genesis back in like February at Riviera. Finished T4, but we haven't seen him since the Players. I don't like that. I think guys need to
play at Valero.
Well, he hasn't played the 3 weeks after the Players. Like he's literally, this is the first time we'll see him in 3 to 4 weeks. I don't like that. I don't think that's the right approach. He's only had 1 top 10 here. Some of that is, I think some of that's, he's got to learn some things about Augusta. Cantlay, he's kind of a boring dude, but he's actually a pretty aggressive player. And at times that can hurt you. Well, a lot of times that can hurt you at Augusta. You have to be appropriately aggressive when it calls for it.
Appropriately aggressive.
Yes. But he's had some solid finishes, but he's only had 1 top 10 and it was 2019. So, and he's playing worse. Cantlay is playing worse coming into this year than he has ever arrived at Augusta. So he'd have to overcome a lot.
Someone asked about Victor Hovland. I am not a Victor Hovland guy. No way I'll ever put my money on Victor Hovland.
It's the same thing. I'm definitely a Victor guy. I love Victor.
Really?
Hovland. But it's the same thing as Patrick Cantlay right now. Like Hovland and Cantlay are crazy right now, because had you told me anytime before January that Hovland and Cantlay would be at the numbers they are for Augusta, I would be asking like, what happened? Like, did they have an injury? Did all of a sudden COVID come back and strike their household for a few weeks? Like,
right.
I can't believe the numbers that they're at, but it's indicative of how poorly they've started 2024. They don't look like the same guys. Victor Hovland won $18 million in 10 days in the summer when he won the Tour Championship, and the event before that, he took a lot of time off in the fall, and he showed up in January, and there was rust, but we've not seen it like completely come back. So he's got some work to do. I don't like Cantlay or Hovland here.
Okay, there was no chance of me betting Hovland. Someone just asked. What's
the deal against Hovland? Why don't you like Hovland?
There were 2 times, and I'm a grudge holder. This goes back maybe like 3 summers. There were 2 times where I live bet, because a lot of times on Sundays in the summer with my friends, so we all live bet a guy before, and we're hanging out outside watching. And there were 2 times where I live bet Hovland and he choked, and I can't unsee it. Where he was in like 4th, and I live bet him, and by the 9th hole he was not in the running anymore. This might be 2021 summer we're talking about, but I don't forget.
You still hold a grudge.
I still hold a grudge, and it happened twice. It happened twice in like a 4-week span. So I was like, never again. I haven't put $1 on the guy since.
Well, Hovland's a stud. Like both those guys, Hovland and Cantlay, are studs. They will figure it out. I just don't know that the Augusta National is the place that I want to count on a guy figuring it out.
And you said Hovland, like Cantlay, hasn't played since the players?
No, Hovland played. Yeah, correct. Actually, Hovland and Cantlay both have stopped since the players. Now, that could mean that they basically walked away from the players and how terrible they've been playing this year and said, "Listen, I'm going to go put in the work off the course." And now Hovland has actually said that before. Hovland has said, "I would rather find my game or find my swing or find whatever correction I need to find on the practice range and with his coaches." Not all guys like to do that. They still like to play tournament golf. So they may have done that, and they may surprise you. But
I'm sure
I don't
they're
think
working somewhere on something.
they are. Yeah, I just don't think I would waste units on outrights or top 10s for those guys. If you kind of want to jump at the long-term form, long-term big picture talent you're seeing at longer numbers than you would have anticipated seeing them, and you want to jump on the value for a top 20 or top, something like that, then I think you could do that. But I would not waste your money shorter, top 10s or a win.
Okay, so someone asked this, and you probably get these all the time. Someone wants a sleeper pick. Someone wants a dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want to take a home run swing at a plus 15,000 or something.
Yeah. I got some bombs for you. Are we talking winner? We want to talk about some bomb winners here.
They didn't specify. So knowing these folks, they want something that they can get a big payout. So whether it's a really long shot top 10 or a semi long shot winner.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a few names, and I'm going to give you names I actually like in the outright market. So if you are convinced, then look these up for top 20s and top 10s as well.
I'm all ears.
The first one I'm going to give, they're actually all kind of in the same range. There's three of them: Sahith Theegala, Cam Young, and Shane Lowry. Those are the three names. Sahith and Cam Young are both 55-1 in the outright market. Shane Lowry's around 60-1. I actually think that's insane. All three have played.
Theegala, that guy?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All three have played quite well in 2024. I would say Lowry and Theegala have been the hottest. Cam Young has definitely showed some potential. He almost won a couple of weeks ago. Shane Lowry is the only major winner out of these three. He's been on tour a lot longer. He's a veteran. He's got a tremendous track record at Augusta. I mean, he plays Augusta fantastic.
Pretty sure he won the British Open a couple years back, didn't he? Yeah, I remember.
He did. Now, Cam Young is actually yet to win at all on the PGA Tour. And you would say, like, wow, I mean, he's probably not going to win his first event at the Masters. But I actually think he could. He's had 3 runner-ups in major championships. He should have won the Open that Cam Smith won at the Old Course. He's had 3 runner-ups in majors. The guy has almost closed the door on 3 majors before he's closed the door on a PGA Tour win. I think he just gets up for big events.
Runner-up? That's crazy.
He gets up for big events, and his game, his skill set really translates to difficult golf courses and tougher scoring conditions, which you get in majors. So I love that. And dude, Sahith Theegala is at another level right now. I was at the course yesterday. I was there all day, and we have a bunch of friends that are caddies, players, coaches. We know a bunch of guys out there. And I was talking to a caddy who played in Sahith's group yesterday. And listen, I was already on Sahith. You can go back and check all the content I've dropped this week. I was on Sahith before I heard this. So when I heard this, I just was like, hell yeah. Sahith told him that his ball striking right now feels as good as it's ever felt in his entire life, in his entire career. And if you look at the data, if you look at the numbers, it does seem to point that direction. But it's awesome to hear him say that, because his short game is elite. Like, really? Sahith's chipping and putting is elite. And what we've been waiting on, or what you're normally waiting on for him,
he's getting off the tee.
When is he going to get it off the tee and hit the approach play and have it all marry up? Well, if he's feeling that good about the long game and the short game is already tremendous, the only thing he lacks here is experience. But this is a guy who, his first Masters last year, he finished 9th, which most first timers do not do. He's won since then on the PGA Tour. He almost won another event after that. Sahith I actually think he's a real killer. And when he gets
now.
Yeah. So again, outrights for sure, these are bombs, but top 10s, top 20s. The other thing I want to say about golf and about this week is you have to look at weather. You can screw yourself if you ignore weather in golf. You can also, be on the right side of an edge because sometimes there is one. Now, sometimes shit can happen and it gets sideways on you, and you end up on the wrong side of the edge. But there is some weather that's supposed to come tomorrow. We're going to get some rain in the morning here in Augusta, and that's going to soften up the course, but it's also windy. That's going to make it interesting. And
so those who tee off in the afternoon would then have the advantage on the first day. Is that what you mean by that?
Currently, as it stands right now, I give an advantage to what you would call it the PM/AM wave. So there's usually 2 waves in golf tournaments. For those of you who are new to this, usually 2 waves. Guys that go off in the morning on Thursday and the afternoon on Friday, and then guys who go off in the afternoon on Thursday and the morning on Friday. So I think the wave advantage as it stands right now is the PM/AM guys. Now, Young, Lowry, and Thigala are all PM/AM guys. So they're going to get the best side of this if the forecast stands and if there's no really long delays. I don't think there will be. I think Augusta will want to, unless it's lightning, they'll let the players play in rain, and then, they just have to deal with it. So sometimes in golf, you could run into an extended delay where it then ends up making the other wave get screwed. But so far, I think there's a PM/AM advantage.
So I just checked. You get Shane Lowry plus 150 for a top 20.
Yes.
Cam Young plus 140, top 20. Yeah, I think I'm going to put out a ticket with these guys on. I'm betting. I like what you said about Sahith. I'm betting that guy to win.
Yeah.
I'm taking a home run swing.
He's also super fun to cheer for. Like, he's a awesome dude. Great dude. I'm going to give you one more bomb top 20.
All right.
I'm going to give you a massive top 20. And I don't understand. I guess the reason for this number is his record around Augusta isn't great, and people weight Augusta's course history so much. Keegan Bradley is plus. I think I found him at plus 350. By the way, Sauce, I don't know where you like to bet these, but for me, when I bet finish position bets, I only bet them where they pay out in full for ties. I do not like dead heat rules. So,
you would have to check the individual rules of the sports books for that.
Well, I'll tell you, bet MGM, and now starting this week, it was a major surprise to all of us on Saturday. We woke up and looked at lines on DraftKings, and DraftKings has 2 different options. You can either bet it with or without the dead heat rules. Obviously, you get longer numbers if they
That's
they
what
do.
it's called, the dead heat rule.
It's called dead heat rule, yeah. So what it means is, like, if you bet a guy to finish in the top 10 and he's like T9, but there are 14 guys at T9 or better, your bet is going to get chopped. And the book's rules are different based on the book. I'll tell you, FanDuel is the worst. The way they chop it is the worst, but DraftKings is kind of a close second. So, it'd be like if you bet a first round leader and he tied with one other guy and you bet him at 100-1. If he tied with one other guy, you're going to get that bet at 50-1. Or the book might split your bet in half. If you bet $100, they might give you a $50.
I think that's what's happened to me in the past. Is I got the payout, just not as much.
It sucks, and these books are getting worse about how they calculate it. And I've seen tickets in the last couple of weeks, people tweeting us going like, "What the fuck is going on here?" But I'll also say that, like, golf is the margins are so thin and the books are sharp, right? So I can't tell you how many times I've been extremely grateful that I was on MGM with full payouts, because your guy would finish, like, you'd have a top 20 bet and he's T19 with 7 other dudes. And you're like, right. God, I would have, like, lost money even though it hit.
Right. You barely even get your investment back.
Yeah. So MGM or DraftKings paying full with ties is a category for the Masters. And those numbers are usually shorter, as you can imagine, because the book's going to calculate in the risk. But that to me is always better. Keegan on MGM is plus 350 to finish top 20. The reason I love Keegan Bradley so much is he's actually a winner. Like, the dude's a winner. He's won a major. He's won big dick PGA Tour events. Like, he's a veteran. He's not going to be intimidated by any names on the leaderboard. There's none of that for Keegan. but his Masters performance is gradually improving every time he's played it. First, 52nd, and I'm looking at like recent history. Finished 52nd in like 2016. Finished 43rd in 2019. Last year had his best finish at T23, best finish of late. So he's getting a little bit better. It's not great, but big picture, Keegan does a few things well that you have to do well at Augusta. He hits it far, which I think you have to do at Augusta, unless you go unconscious with the putter or something. He hits it far. He hits it high, which you have to do. You have to be able to hold these really firm, bouncy greens with your approach shots come the weekend when things are firm and fast. And his mid irons and long irons are among some of the top on the PGA Tour. I mean, he is a fantastic mid and long iron player. Now, unlike a guy like Sahith, his short game is terrible. But guys with bad short game have had tons of success at Augusta if they just ball strike the hell out of the place. If you just hit more greens than everybody else, you can do it. And I think Keegan is capable of doing that. So
I don't know if you can see on the screen. I just placed it while you were talking. Keegan Bradley top 10 plus 1,100. I'm in on
all right,
Keegan.
I told you, huh?
I didn't get this. Yeah, I didn't get the Sahith bet down yet because for some reason I was on Caesars and I couldn't find the right one. But I'm going to bet that guy Sahith too. And I'm going with Xander, but that might be a little bit more of a fan bet because he's probably the guy I want to win the most.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Make sure you follow these guys. Anything golf, man. How often do you guys upload your stuff?
I mean, we cover every event, man, all year. So because to us, I mean, the money spends the same. I mean, of course, the Masters is a lot of fun to watch. But the money and the process, the handicapping is the same, whether it's this event or it's the damn 3M Open that nobody gives a shit about. So
right,
we do it every single week. Our main shows usually drop on Monday, but we do content every single week for it.
So you drop a main show on Monday, you'll drop an episode for the following tournament, and maybe like a recap for the one that just happened.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit of a recap. We have a big email list. We send out 2 emails a week for stuff. We have just follow us on social. You'll see everything. X is usually where we're most active. Twitter. But yeah, man, love coming on here and chopping it up with you. You're fantastic. It's good to get on with the sauce, and always watch what you do. And we're definitely not as sharp as you are, but
Hey man, the last couple weeks in the NBA, I'm not sharp at all. I'm getting my ass kicked. So
I don't know how you bet. I don't know how you bet on the NBA. Like I can't even imagine what you have to go through to bet on the NBA,
especially this time of year because everyone's sitting. It's the playoff time. But yeah, so that's their Twitter name right underneath them, right underneath DB. And I actually tagged them in a tweet. So you can, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see It says 12 p.m. with Tour Junkies right there. So yeah, I actually I don't think I subscribed to your YouTube channel. I followed you on Twitter forever, so I'll check out the content. My friends love betting golf, so I'll put them onto your channel.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Let's have ourselves a good tournament. Let's go Sahith. I'm a Sahith guy this weekend.
Dude, you're gonna fall in love with Sahith.
Yeah, I'm gonna become a fan.
Fall in love with him.
Does he sell merch? I'm there.
He might have some merch before it's all over with.
I might have to. But all right, thanks for joining, man. Thanks everyone for watching. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, dude.